Welcome back. Now, in between the parts, I did actually go away and do the Arataki event I said I was going to do, but the recording corrupted, and I basically couldn't make any videos from it, unfortunately. I tried looking at ways of maybe salvaging it, but yeah, it was just not possible, unfortunately. Other than that, there has been an obvious change. You may have noticed me wandering around here with a new character. I do like her playstyle. I do like her playstyle. It is quite fun, but we are basically gearing up and ready for Sijuin at this point. Whether or not I'll take Sijuin as a healer or a DPS, we shall see. We shall see. Time will tell. But anyway, we're here at the Order because the quest has popped up, so we need to return. And that's why we're here. What quest are we doing? What's it called? That's the wrong thing. There we go. Search in the Algae Sea. Yeah. Night Twittiker, Paimon, you're back. You bet we are. Have you found anything new in the meantime? Mr. Caterpillar and I have been doing some research. Oh, and? We've discovered that Seymour doesn't, in fact, have an annihilation mode. Following data fragment sorting, the phrase was found to have been derived from the novel Prisoner 6, Overrun. In that book, the World Organization launched a mass annihilation agent to hunt a chimera down. Wait, that stuff's not important at all. Apart from using our free time to go out and investigate, we've also read through the books collected here one more time. We couldn't make heads or tails of them at first, and even now, well, they certainly are well written. I don't know whose handwriting it is, or what scribe or copyist was hired, but their penmanship is clear and clearly beautiful. A master of calligraphy if I ever saw one. Wait, so you were talking about the handwriting? Paimon's got a bad feeling about this already. Did you not find anything during this time then? Alright, sorry. I shan't jest any further. It was just messing about. As you know, we told you all that we found the last time without holding anything back. However, I fear that this time there are some clues hidden in details that we must rely on chance to reveal. Chance? Indeed, for example, if no further revelations concerning a murder emerge, then the blood on a painting will always remain a red smear. Then what would this chance be, Caterpillar? Well, why don't we do a quick recap of everything we've discovered? Let's make some deductions regarding what happened in the past. That might give us the opportunity to fill in some gaps that can help us support or refute our views. That's a good idea. I've always felt like there's so much about this that's familiar, but I can't recall anything about it. Negative. I can give a continuous account of the resources that I have sorted. Ah, silly dog. Didn't you only recover your creator's name after talking to us about the matter? Mechanical noises? Negative. I merely matched similar sounds during said interaction. There was no data loss involved. However, I must append that I, too, find that keyword searches make searching for entries more efficient. So, what do we want to discuss? Well, for a bit of a warm-up, or a teaser, if you would, maybe referring to a heater. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. So let's start off our deductions with something simple. What is the Mary Ann in the Anapausis exactly? Huh? That Mary Ann holds the greatest secret of all. I'm sure you can see that too. I was going to say, like, yeah, the 3 arcs we've been through, that's the one that's significant, I'd say. Let's get ourselves some armchairs. Maybe crack open a few beers. Oh wait, you can't drink yet. Anyway, let us help you sort out findings. I'll start first. Well, the name Mary Ann itself certainly is familiar to me. How come? Oh yeah. The name of the person I was meant to protect is Mary Ann, yes, but I have no data regarding the identity of the one who resides within the Anapausis. We are missing context. I can only conclude, based on a human's unmodified lifespan, that they are not the same person. That would seem to be the case, huh? It's been a few hundred years after all. Yeah, but there could be other circumstances. Well, as for Paimon, she ate chicken mushroom skewer this morning. Well, I guess it's my turn. You mentioned before that you encountered oceanic creatures that had a great deal of character, one might say personality even. The precondition for such creatures and their characters is the same, that an intelligent Oceanid has already understood their original forms beforehand. So, were you the one who willed those creatures into being, Anne? Don't you think that's kind of weird? You know, summoning familiar friends to play house with you for who knows how long and stuff? Well, I didn't do that. I actually had to get to know Petit Joe, Al, and the others first. Well then, in that case, let's see what we can deduce from the things we already know. And then let's begin. Huh? It's already starting? I was gonna say, are we gonna go into one of these things? The name Marianne. Anne said that the name sounded familiar. I should ask her about it. Should something come to mind. To Seymour, she is someone that he must protect. Either way, ordinary humans don't live that long. It's been several hundred years, so they're probably not the same person, right? The Marianne in Anapausis. The Marianne in Anapausis seems very mysterious. We once suspected that Anne was a character from her dreams. Yes, we did. So we got that now. Okay. What Paimon ate this morning, we'll have a look. Chicken mushroom skewer. At the risk of missing major plot twists or important foreshadowing, I don't think this is related to Anne's background either. Yeah, let's just make that one disappear. Yeah. About Anne. Anne is a small Oceanid. She didn't create the Oceanid creatures in Anapausis. Speaking of, just how do Oceanids reproduce again? I don't think we'll get into that. The Oceanid Anne. Anne's far too weak to control that whole realm, so she can't be the Oceanid behind it all. The Oceanid creatures in Anapausis. Oceanids are sentient creatures unique to Fontaine, and they can create Oceanid creatures through mimicry and transformation. I remember all the strange and wonderful Oceanid creatures we saw before we met Marianne. There are Oceanids in Anapausis. Maybe Osile can create water creatures, but it's extraordinary to be able to imagine creatures with rich personalities. It's almost certain that there's an Oceanid and an Anapausis controlling everything. Who can she be? Oh, I expected that to just go gold, yellow. Alright, we'll associate that with that. No, that can't be. Oh. Alright, cancel that. That? There we go. It's not Anne. It's definitely not Anne. I believe her. She is also searching for answers. Alright, so that. The enigmatic Marianne. Marianne, who has the same name as Seymour's owner and who seems to know everything, is the Oceanid. Even if she's not an Oceanid, she's probably related to the Oceanid behind all of this. Oh. Alright then. Wait, was that not it? Oh, tell him when you're ready. Alright. Are you ready now, or do you have any questions for me? I just thought of something. I'm looking forward to it. Ooh, different camera angle. Oh, is submit conclusion? There we go. That's enough for now. More than enough for a warm-up. Correct. The oddities in Anapausis all point to the powers of the Oceanids. But this is not Miss Anne's doing. All of this together means there's another Oceanid in Anapausis? That is what I suspect. An Oceanid with whom Mary Anne has a close relationship. Or perhaps she could even be the princess herself. Do you mean to say that Mary Anne may in fact be Princess Lyris? Yes, Lyris. The Red Empress of the Ordo from back then. The Red Empress who loves to take heads. Take heads? Careful, Paimon. I seem to have a vague recollection of something like that. Well, but it's not a story about Lyris. Rather, it's a fairy tale about someone named Marianne. Yes, taking heads thing is just a metaphor. Lyris is made of pure water, so has the ability to dissolve and extract people's wills. The Ordo used her to extract the ego and become holy. Searching for the word Lyris has yielded relevant information in my indices. Is that how you say that? Talking of the Red Empress has reminded me of a few things about Marianne. Mull that over a while. First, then speak to Miss Anne and Seymour. See if the conclusion you reach awakens any new memories. Alright, we'll speak to Anne first then. Night Twitter, I remember the name Mary Ann. Do tell. It's familiar to me because it's from a children's story, the same one that the Red Empress comes from. The female lead, Liddell, was mistaken for Mary Ann, the servant. Mary Ann never appeared throughout the entire story. Maybe Mary Ann never really existed except as a figment in someone's dreams. How do you know about the story, Anne? And isn't that a good question? How do I know about it? The memory feels more vivid than those I have of the story of the evil dragon, Narcissus. A dream? I mean, like, based on what we know from, like, the main story with, like, Fontaine's population being Oceanids until Nouvellette stepped in, it's very much that case of you can sort of see where they're going with this. This was almost like it was prepping you for the main story in a way, to make you think about these kinds of things. Seymour, shall I summarize the entries regarding Lyris I possess for you too? Alright. Omitting the standard citation format, reconstructing output to match format report to superiors. Lyris is a registered Oceanid. She is not eligible to be stationed in the waters outside Fontaine and has become a special source of information for the nation. She was appointed as the director of an orphanage to symbolize the love and affection of the previous Hydro Archon. The orphanage's affairs were mainly managed by its human vice director. An orphanage director? Then how is she connected to the Ordo? As director, Lyris was very affectionate towards the children and quite devoted to them, but her intelligence among Oceanids was below average. She wasn't very good at working out the cause and effect of things, nor could she even count. As a result, she was not qualified to perform covert investigations. Well, sounds kind of big old cat mum who can't count. You know, because cats can't count, so they pick up their kittens one by one and keep going back until they see there aren't any kittens left. Is that true? Later, the orphanage was destroyed during the calamity, and official records of her stopped there. They say she failed to understand the link between the disaster, the orphans fleeing, and her own conduct, and so she wanders the ruins, drowning in guilt and expectation. I have an underwater locomotion module. Once Marianne and I dove down to the ruins of the orphanage, whose coordinates were the same as those of Anapausis. There we found an Oceanid swimming sadly in circles. Oh. When she next appeared in the record, she was a core member of the Ordo and the subject of a high-priority arrest warrant. Oh, but she doesn't seem like a bad person. Considering that she may be connected to Anne, she must have been tricked. But by who? The other Oceanid? Ah yes, there's another important piece of information worth noting. The orphanage's name was the Institute, yes. And these are all the Phantom's files that Mr. Alain Guillotine recorded for testing light sensitivity while designing me. The output is via my image-to-text-to-speech module. According to eyewitness testimony regarding who I suspect to be Lyris, there shouldn't be any problems. And you may have heard of this elsewhere, but it's worth mentioning again. Elaine and Marianne were orphans in the care of the Institute before the hunter, Emmanuel Guillotine, took them in. Thank you, Seymour. Don't mention it, noble sir. Noble sir, yes. Quite. It feels like you've changed a lot since we met in the fortress in Meripede, Caterpillar. Would a 5-year-old child and a 15-year-old teenager be the same? Perhaps returning here simply reminds me of the past and of who I used to be. Time is frozen in the fortress. Being locked up there for a day or 100 years, I'm afraid it made no difference to me. Yeah, it would just blur together eventually, wouldn't it? Yeah. Lenore is what made time flow for me. Watching her grow reminded me that time still passes, and life is still being born, shining brightly, and then being extinguished. Alright. And so I changed as well. That said, my past self, the person I was before I met her, would certainly be more helpful to Anne and Seymour in our current situation. That's true. Don't be like that, Paimon. Just think about it. Making up stories for Lenore was nothing more than putting such ways of thinking to good use. Regardless, it has nothing to do with the current situation. You look like you still have questions, Twitika. Since we have our own suspicions about Anne and Lyris's relationship, we have topics of discussion that can be used to refute or sustain those conjectures. How do Oceanids reproduce? Well, when a mummy Oceanid and a daddy Oceanid, I'm sure you have friends more knowledgeable than I am regarding that. Perhaps you can even find scholars of natural philosophy who have dedicated research to the question. Probably, yeah. Yeah. Or you could have asked the Oceanids you know personally, but you asked me. Of course, I know what you mean, so this is your speculation, I see. Paimon doesn't get it. When we exchanged information earlier, Twitika mentioned that Anne is the person in Marianne's dream. Or perhaps she might be a manifestation made by Marianne. An Oceanid. Or like a child then, yeah. Oceanid. Why the repetition? Are you just trying to make it sound cuter? Apologies, perhaps my description was ill done. Still, can an Oceanid create an Oceanid creature version of an Oceanid? Wow, that's deep. That's like asking if hard candies can be used as the filler for another hard candy. What? It's not... What? So, what would you say to that? This question's really interesting, but Paimon's already hungry for answers. I suppose I'd have to say... I suppose so. Still, you may not realize just how deep this rabbit hole goes, so let me explain. Do tell! You might be confused as to why there are Oceanic creatures with personalities in the Anapausis. Not really. If Oceanids can create Oceanic creatures, then can they create Oceanid humans or Oceanid Oceanids? Convention dictates that it's rare for Oceanids to be able to mimic a human, unless a human drowns in their arms, or the Oceanid has spent extensive time with the person and knows everything about them. Or maybe there's something else going on, you know. And the Oceanid in question must also have tremendous wisdom and compassion. I'm afraid perhaps only one as powerful as Rodia could do it. Wow, so that means Iria must be incredibly strong. So it's rare to mimic humans, but not impossible. Now, creating another Oceanid, that's different. Creating humans using human knowledge can only be achieved by gods. And applies the same to Oceanids creating Oceanids. It's usually impossible in this world, at least. Unless this human or Oceanid has already placed themselves above their own kind and attempted such insanity. You mean they thought they had become a god? That's right. Followers blindly believe in their leaders, who in turn blindly believe in themselves, giving rise to delirium and delusions. I can do what a god can do. Their deeds are not that great, after all. Powerful belief is also a powerful will, and magic is a skill that molds reality to your will. Perhaps Marianne doesn't consider herself an Oceanid type. Perhaps. It's possible and quite understandable too. If nothing else, the Lyris I know doesn't have the kind of intelligence, nor would she be this crazy. I have some less mainstream ideas about how Oceanids reproduce, but they're not important and we can discuss them later. I think it's important to consider that though. Again, it's like that idea like could be the children. Now let's reorganize the information that everyone just recalled. This might take quite some time and might be somewhat hard on our throats. Especially for me, because I'm reading it all out, aren't I? Jeez. I'm ready. So regarding Elaine's younger sister Marianne, the Anapausis, Marianne, the Red Empress Lyris, and the Anne who's with us. What will our conclusion be? How will we sustain it, and how shall we refute it? Everyone gathers. Is there anything else you feel we should add? As I mentioned before, Marianne is not only the princess in Anne's story, but she is also the person I must protect. She is the younger sister of Elaine Guillotine, the one who designed me. 4ACV07. As for matters concerning me, I suppose you already know all about them, Night Twittiker. Speaking of which, didn't we also hear all sorts of stuff while we were in Elness? Seymour was also damaged during that time. How did it go? Did you think of anything? About the damage to Seymour and Elinus. That's right, Seymour was damaged inside Elinus, and Mamer's been taking care of him. Good old Mamer. To my shame, yes. Though I do not have such emotions, you can see it as me having lowered my assessment of myself. And according to Elinus, the battle that occurred within his body ended quite terribly. Evidently, that was the battle that damaged you, and it was an incredibly fierce one. But considering that you were damaged, then your master might have been... Yes. Common sense dictates that the fate of Mary Ann Guillotine, sister of Elaine Guillotine, was most likely a grim one. But this world is full of tales of loyal knights who exchanged their lives for a miracle, so you needn't grieve too much, Seymour. Seymour appears to have entered data fragment sorting mode out of pure shock. But your master, Mary Ann, was an ordinary human being, wasn't she? And the time that has passed since then far surpasses the lifespan of any human. How did it go? Did you think of anything? Alright, so let's move on to the Red Empress, Lyris. She was an important figure in the Ordo, and she is also the other Oceanid involved in the tale apart from Miss Anne. One of only 2 Oceanids, and we also just agreed that we believe there must be an Oceanid behind Anaporsis. But her traits don't match those of the Mary Ann we encountered. Could it be that Lyris's imagination was behind everything? Even me? It's possible. That's unlikely, but possible. Seymour mentioned that her intelligence was quite limited, so phantoms of this sort would be quite hard for her. I wouldn't put, imagination in the same wheelhouse as intelligence, really. It's not what I do. It's no. Similar to how an author would struggle to write a character more intelligent than themselves. In fairy tales, the kitten may dream of their living little master, but I fear such things don't happen much in real life. So who's behind all this? And who in the world is that Mary Ann? How did it go? Did you think of anything? One left then. The Oceanid Anne. Huh? What about me again? We once suspected that you might be the person that Mary Ann dreamed of. So, in your view, Mary Ann is the Oceanid behind the curtain, yes? I don't know. Well then, do you find the name Lyris familiar? She is, after all, the only Oceanid involved in this apart from yourself. If you mean the title The Red Empress, then yes, I do. Do have some impression of it. How did it go? Did you think of anything? That's it. We're done. The Mary Ann in Anaporsis. Oh. That makes her our prime suspect then. To be honest, were you using the process of elimination? You actually already guessed as much long ago. I didn't want to disrespect Anne, though. You're right, but you do already have a version of the story in your heart, your own interpretation, yes? If that's the case, then we should go find that Mary Ann and see for ourselves. Please permit me to change the topic for a moment. Oh, does this mean that I shall no longer be able to fulfill my orders to protect Mary Ann? We've worked out this much and that's the only bit you care about? May be cruel, but for the moment, we discovered that the Guillotine siblings were from centuries ago. It was probably inevitable. Correction. So the conclusion would be that it was my incompetence that exposed Mary Ann to danger. No, do not blame yourself. You have fought to the point of destruction. You have done your part. There's no need to be so pessimistic either. Though that is an odd thing to say to a machine. Yeah, it's like pouring Fontaine into a sink and then saying, "Sink, you'll get fat if you keep drinking like this." I suppose that works? Oh, 4ACV07. Can't believe you remember that. What is it, Mr. Caterpillar? Why use my official designation? We may not have reached any conclusions, but we now know what to do next. Look, there is a Mary Ann in Anapausis too, and she also has close links to the Ordo. My long-term memory module confirms this. As such, there's no need to restore your logic module to factory settings yet. Let's take a step back. We can still go and find this Mary Ann. Thank you for your logic, troubleshooting, and emotional adaptive maintenance. I think what you said makes sense. It is not yet time to admit defeat and restore myself to my initial settings in order to take on a new mission. Yeah, that's right, you silly dog. Let's leave things here for a while then. Once you are ready, we can continue. Why don't we go find this Mary Ann? Let's solve that mystery before tackling the Ordo issue. The fairy tale water world. I gather that some things happened over there then. Yes, they did. It was quite the adventure. Went round in circles quite a bit. Oh, we just ran into immunity-related issues, often due to Night Twitchka's hydro resonance, that's all. Paimon feels like some extraordinary instinct awakened in you after you met Seymour, Anne. Is it time to review responsibilities and appropriate blame? I do not think I should be held accountable, for I can only override my protective prerogative in moments of great danger. Don't worry, Night Twitchka. We'll make Mary Ann tell us everything this time. So, shall we go then? I think we shall. Alright, so head to the destination location. I said designated. I'm glad we're coming back to speak of it, because it is just a case of like, what's going on here? Like, you're the one who seems to know more about everything. So what is going on? I did discover there is a back way into this place. There's a cave. We're back again. This time I must... Mary Ann. That's the spirit, Miss Anne. In truth, I must confess to being somewhat jealous of you. You still hold out hope of recovering your past. I've been searching for centuries, but I haven't found a thing. So please do your best for this old caterpillar's part as well, alright? Figure your past out and come to accept your present self. Yep, I will. Okay. Head to the designated location once again. Hello? You're back. Whoa, what are these guys doing here again? Wait, isn't that Alan's group? Oh, yes it is us, and you are Night Twitchka and Paimon? It's really good to see you. So good that I can't control myself anymore. Please dodge to the best of your ability. She asked us to send you a message. Now let me take out her handwritten letter with my hands, which are much like yours, yellow and white ones. I don't want to hear your stories. I prefer my version. Oh, well, moving on then. Oh! I mean, it's going to be a bit difficult against stuff that's made of water. With water as our main attack. What we got there? Huh. Oh, there we go. The bubble that was here before is gone too. Well, it was Princess Ludis's magic. That's just how the story goes. Let me think of a way. Close your eyes, everyone. Temporary optical sensor shutdown. Whoa. Understood. They will be reactivated on your command. Wait, why do we have to do that? The essence of a mime is pretense, a charade that something is still here. A belief is the heart of magic. The faith that there is meaning here, so let's close our eyes. So, Anne, begin imagining what it would look like if the bubble was still here. You close your eyes and feel some sort of fluctuation. I prefer the story of the adventure team sitting down happily for tea time after their adventure has ended. Bubble appeared! Wow, it really appeared. The Ordo called this step the process of imagining something in such detail, imaging. Let's go over and have a look. Alright. Just head up really, really slowly. super slowly. We'll get there eventually. Don't you worry. Yeah, it's the entrance that's disappeared this time. And do you know how to make the portal? Can you do your imaging thing on it? Alright, let me give it a try. You close your eyes and a lonesome silence comes over you. But everyone's left. They won't come back no matter how long I wait. I can't. It seems... Wait, why? Just break down the wall. How are we supposed to see Marianne then? I suspect that this is because the portal has lost meaning and thus cannot be recreated. From what you told me before, the entrance that was once placed here led to a story that had yet to be written. Now that she has said everything she wanted to, the story no longer has any meaning. Marianne is rejecting our answer, and that is why the way in is shut. Does this mean we're going to return empty-handed? It does seem so. I wouldn't say we're completely out of luck. Did you notice something we didn't then, Night Whitaker? I heard something while Anne was imaging. I did hear something there, so you can hear it too. Would that be Marianne's real thoughts? What did you two hear? It might be best not to discuss personal secrets here. The walls might have ears and all. Let's head back before talking about this. We return with everyone to the Ordo. Okay then. So, could you tell us what you heard? Perhaps a Hilichurl might hear something that humans and Oceanids will not, just as how dogs and humans differ in that regard. Fair enough, fair enough. I must correct your statement. My auditory components can indeed pick up higher and lower frequencies as compared to humans. However, I am not a dog. Moreover, a dog's low-frequency hearing is similar to that of a human. Is that so? Well, I was talking about real dogs, not you, for a CV07. Silly dog. That said, I didn't think you would hear it too, Night Whitaker. I wonder if we heard the same thing. But everyone's left. They won't come back no matter how long I wait. Looks like we heard the same thing. Suspect this is what the inner voice of Marianne said. Did she say anything else? I'm not trying to invade anyone's privacy or anything. I just think that we're onto something here with you mentioning these words, Whitaker. Let me think. After that, I also heard something like, I prefer the story of the adventure team sitting down happily for tea time after their adventure has ended. And then, I don't want to hear your stories. I prefer my version. Have you noticed something off about this, Whitaker? Please state your case. Let's think our own thoughts through first. Perhaps we really might be able to come to some conclusion. Alright then, talk to Caterpillar when you're ready. I'm ready, mate, let's go! You don't seem to want to link the two of them together. Neither elimination nor enumeration is very fair to Anne. What a coincidence, I happen to agree. But I have some other thoughts to share too, though they may have nothing to do with the next step in our reasoning. Are you willing to listen? I'm listening, go for it, mate. Earlier, we broached the topic of Oceanid reproduction. It's a huge taboo for Oceanids to mimic and transform into one of their own kind. How do you know that? Just as it is for humans to create humans. But you see, humans can create humans through love. Go, pursue eternity, not through mystery, but love. What if, by some chance, this mysterious method of Oceanid reproduction is accomplished through imagination and mimicry? Perhaps their regret or remorse gives birth to a thought, and as they imagine the path that could have been taken, a new Oceanid is born. That is a very interesting idea, actually. That is pretty much what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, that's interesting. Then you have the trouble of, like, there could be just loads of them popping up if something traumatic happened. Like something on a big scale, and all the Oceanids just had different thoughts of like how things could have been if this hadn't happened, and that gives rise to loads of new Oceanids. What would the impact be then? Yeah, very interesting idea. We'll never know. After all, it's a secret passed down amongst Oceanids only. In any case, we'll begin once you're ready. Let's begin. Then let's begin. Okay, the morning. The Paimon ate something. Yeah. The talkative Marianne. Marianne, who wove a fairy tale without an ending. She refused our visit, but she mentioned her memories from the Institute. Sounded like she was waiting for everyone to return to the Institute ruins. The memories of the Institute? The only person who grew up in the Institute and has a matching background is Marianne Guillotine. Marianne Guillotine's memories? Marianne has Marianne Guillotine's memories. Wait, that was it? Okay. The memories of waiting in the ruins. The person who once waited within the deserted ruins for everyone's return was Lyris, the former director. Director Lyris's memories? Marianne has Lyris's memories. Let's link those together. No, I didn't want that. Okay, Marianne Guillotine. The one that Seymour was supposed to protect. Something happened in illness, resulting in Seymour's damage and her disappearance. Where is she? What is her relationship with Marianne? Yeah, I want to associate those two. No, that can't be it. Oh. Okay, the Red Empress Lyris, because then maybe that connects to that. Wait, what? Oh, did I do that? Okay. Interpret. Marianne is Lyris. I associated it, didn't I? If so, then Marianne is Lyris. Another piece of evidence we have is that they can both use Oceanid powers to control Anapausis. Okay, submit conclusion. No, that can't be it. Oh, come on. Alright, associate that with the Red Empress Lyris. No, that can't be it. Alright, well, alright. Fine. Wait, have I not read that one then? The one that Seymour was supposed to protect. It's just how it's still white rather than grey. Alright, anyway, the Red Empress Lyris. A member of the Ordo from several hundred years ago. Her whereabouts afterward are unknown. She is also the only other Oceanid involved other than Anne. I can't be that goes with the Paimon eating. What? No, I want to not interpret. I want to associate. Oh yeah, I can't associate that, can I? No. Okay. So, this morning Paimon ate? Okay. I don't know why I can't get this out of my mind. This can't be really foreshadowing, can it? What? Okay. Oh, I just realized it's because I haven't actually... It's like, just stop on that. There we go. I haven't actually looked at that, have I? Oh, no! I wasn't done. Let's begin. I want to look at that properly. So associate that with that. There we go. Marianne is that younger sister. If so, then Marianne is Marianne Guillotine. They have the same name and matching memories. Okay. Associate that with Lyris? Okay. The identities are contradictory. How could she be both people at the same time? Lyris's abilities? This must mean that Lyris, an Oceanid, probably has special powers. Okay, we'll associate that with the Red Empress or Marianne. Oh, there we go. Dissolving the personality and will. Her job in the Order was to dissolve the members' egos. What could have happened between her and the missing Marianne Guillotine? Lyris and Anne. For some reason, Lyris dissolved Marianne's personality. And afterward, their wills, now mixed, began to dream. They dreamed of a simple world where the princess is saved and the evil dragon gets killed, while the heroes are always pressing onward. They dreamed of a world where everything was simple and had an answer, as long as Anne was there. Thus, Anne and Marianne were born. Okay. We put the pieces of the case that were floating all over the Algae Sea back together. It's just an empty box, even after being put together. but we've finally figured it out. What the lost pearl should look like. What are you trying to say, Caterpillar? Wait, don't give Paimon any hints. She's gonna figure this one out on her own. We pieced together a good guess from the clues, but the truth is still unproven? Of course. My speech analysis module has determined that Miss Paimon is correct. Well, that's helpful. Actually, I meant that we may never know the truth, but I'm afraid we have no choice but to accept this conjecture. So, Night Whitaker, is this the secret of my birth? I'm afraid I can't accept something like this right away. I understand, Miss Anne. It's a shocking fact, and it'll require you to accept yourself again. But I don't think it should be that difficult to do so. After all, knowing your past does not require abandoning everything about the present. Indeed, Caterpillar. I do not understand the specific context of this discussion, but I would like to add that I do not believe I am different from how I was before suffering disc damage. I think you've changed. Even though you insist on addressing me as a silly dog, my identification number is still 4ACV07. Come on, it's not that serious. I promised Night Whitaker that I would accept this conclusion as long as it's reasonable. Then I have a suggestion. One that will resolve Miss Anne's quandary and put a stop to the Narcissan cruises plans. Yes. Oh, Paimon remembers now. You mentioned him before, Caterpillar. Just who is he, huh? Well, simply put, the leader of the Ordo. Whoa. Sounds like he's got an impressive resume. But isn't the Ordo always up to no good? Wouldn't that make him the nastiest of the lot? Of course. During my time with my master, creator, and the other hunters, we devoted most of our time to hunting the Ordo down. As I said before, the goal of Elness operation was to capture or eliminate them as well. However, my memory does not contain any intelligence regarding his involvement. I'm just going to call him Nah. Just so you know who I'm on about. Just so it makes it easier for me. That's a given. Looking back at it now, he was merely using us as bait. And I wasn't the only one. It was the same for Jacob, Lyris, and many others in the Ordo. I'm afraid the Elness operation was probably never more than a red herring, with the goal of leading you and Guillotine away to buy him more time to execute his true plans. Remember the doomsday clock I mentioned? Oh, yeah, I remember it. Like, when we entered here that other time, it just went tick, like, It's what the Ordo considers the countdown to the apocalypse, right? To be more precise, it's the apocalypse as calculated by the world formula. This planet itself should survive just fine, though. The beast of the stars shall drink the amniotic fluid of the world dry. 100 years or more, and all the surface life shall be wiped away. Oh. Once life on the surface is wiped out, only that which is underwater will remain. Can a planet full of fish eventually rise up to the ocean of stars? The thought of all terrestrial life going extinct is pretty spooky. But when you say things like that, it does give things a romantic ring. Romantic? It's the heading of a Yai publishing house novel from a few years back. Mimere brought it back to the village to learn how to paint. Oh, no wonder. Anyways, so myself and the others gathered here. Though the Ordo is the source of all our troubles, its objective, and Na's great purpose, are actually completely selfless. He only took the actions he did because he calculated the coming of the apocalypse. He wishes to save the world. By any means necessary, I guess. So is the world really on the verge of destruction? I believe this to be a pathological delusion caused by paranoia. Were the apocalypse real, would you be able to forgive Na? No. It's a bit too early to be considering such things. You have yet to understand what happened to you, Anne. And as for you, Seymour, your hostility is a result of your programming and the duties it imposes. I suppose we must find the Holy Blade of Na. The Holy Blade of Na? I'm talking about the real one, of course. As much as it may be quite strange to say that the ceremonial sword of a magic school, or society, is real. Not only will it help us stop Na's plans, but its unique power may be able to undo the merging of wills. Ooh. We should be able to separate Lyris and Mary Ann, and then, Miss Anne, you can defeat the evil dragon, Gnosis, and rescue Princess Lilith. Regardless, let's get moving first. That's the spirit. It may take some time to explain, so let's move out first and explain when we get there. Right, follow Caterpillar's directions to the specified location. Where? Oh, hello. Over here now. Atmospheric visibility is acceptable today. Enough that you can see the tower over there, yes? Where? There's a tower? Where? Can anybody see it? I'm not sure. I think I see something in the distance. It's a sort of little pointy tower. It's hard to discern, though. I passed it by earlier, actually. That tower was once known to the Ordo as the Tower of Ipsimus, but we would later call it the Tower of Gestalt. It was named for the idea that things that have been separated need to be combined to display their original complete form. But I suppose I might be speaking in reverse. The heart was complete to begin with, and the mistake was to divide it up for separate study. Paimon didn't get a thing you said. It's fine, don't worry about it. Plays on words are also a trick that mysterious organizations enjoy pulling. The organization. El Sai Congru. What matters is what we must do next. Some of the vocabulary you used is missing from my semantic indexes, so I could not properly parse your meaning. But I understood the last sentence. Please tell me what I should do. While investigating alone, I found a map of the seal of chemical marriage? You could say that I found 4 seals. Ah. And this tower is one of those locations? It's not that the place we need to go. That said, though, who can be sure? Perhaps our destinies will yet take us there in the future. Either way, we need to use the position of the tower to locate the other 4 places. That's why we've come here first. So what are those 4 seals for? Sealing something, yeah? That said, we discovered from experience that it's usually best practice just to break the seals and give whatever ringleader we find a good walloping. As for me, I'd like to restore the Holy Blade of Nar. Cool, a new weapon! It's more for ceremonial use, but it could be used as a weapon, I guess. But I suppose we could also just call it the answer. As I've said before, the Ordo once had a ceremony to remove the ego at will. The Holy Blade was used in that ritual. I remember something about that. If Lyris and Marianne's wills created Anne, and if the old me was placed in some Hidichol's body. Ah. Wait a minute. Didn't we already find the Holy Blade of Nar? What? Really? Look, I was just holding it this entire time. A wooden sword. It's the wooden sword we found during our adventures. Yes, so it is. Triple dot? Wait, we just had it? I was just holding it in my hand being like... Oh, you mean this? This thing? Oh, well, here you go. Hey, what kind of reaction is that? Perhaps you can think of it like this. That's a wooden sword found in the Institute, named the Holy Blade of Nar. That would make it more important than any ordinary wooden sword. Perhaps it might be of use when the time is right, just like the Holy Blade in the story. Really? You don't need to try to make us feel better. Got it. Let's go! There are 4 seals in total. If my hypothesis is correct, then they should be at these locations respectively. Huh? These 4 locations? We've been to some of them before during our adventures. I see. And did you find anything there? You describe your adventures there. I see. That proves 2 things. Firstly, my hypothesis is accurate. And the other? Secondly, the situation is grim. We need to get moving and see if we still have a chance to turn things around. And we've only just started it. We're like, what, 45 minutes in and we've just started. Like, okay. We'll carry on though. So we need to head down here. Okay, so you're down there. Right, let's head in there. I was wondering about some of these locations, and I was wondering where, like, the arc quest, whatever you want to call it, was for this region. Like, oh, it's this. I'm assuming it's this. Anyway, there is another quest that starts up near the tower. How do I get back down again? Like, that's the only problem. I can't remember how I get down. Like, I'm assuming here. I said activate, not jump. I mean, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, that means that... Oh, I was going to say, like, something's going to come down, but no. No, we're good. We're good. Doo-doo-doo. Hello.
Shower me with the... Over here! Surprise! Let the show begin.
I hate when I get interrupted when I'm doing clothing skills. Oh, yes, hold on. Thank you. Just waiting for those guys to shoot the button so the doors went up and down. Alright, here we go then. You carefully inspect the top of the mechanism, but you don't find anything. There's nothing here either. What exactly are we looking for, Caterpillar? We're looking for the materials necessary to forge the Holy Blade of Nar. The Order was able to reproduce the 4 requisite hypothetical substances here in the material world, based on the esoteric philosophies of the Underground Kingdom and ancient Fontaine. Yes, of course. Makes complete sense. I do not understand. These enigmatic substances are purely experimental. You could say they are even further beyond ordinary logic than elemental power. And to all introductory to intermediate level textbooks from the academia's Spantamad into my memory banks decades ago, there is nothing mysterious about elemental power. Is that so? Anyway, to sum up, this is born of the confluence of traditions from Fontaine and technology from the ancient Underground Kingdom. And thus, 4 types of substance came into being: memory, wish, soul, and persona. Ba-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. To avoid any possible ambiguity, let's call them the memory piece, wish piece, soul piece, and the ba-dun-dun-dun persona piece. That's Persona 4 music, that. Why are they used to make the Holy Blade? In the Order's brand of mystical philosophy, the temple is a microcosm of the universe. The members are stand-ins for the gods, and the holy oil is tempered willpower. The Holy Blade, on the other hand, is reason. That which cuts everything open. It can only be born out of consummate human will. Quite abstruse? That's esoteric for you. Esotericism for you, even. You attach yourself to anything that looks similar enough, and when this sort of thing becomes magic, fiction becomes reality. Anyway, we should make our way to the next area now. Yes, we should. I like how I'm just done on that bit. I wonder if there's going to be one where I'm not done. Because we should see about all these. So, Cupid's lover. Cupid's lover? I wonder if that could relate to, Siegeween in a way. Because as we know, Siegeween is very Cupid-like. So, yeah, a lot of these places I explored when I was getting the hydro dinghies. Yes, I was looking for several of them because I'm trying to get as much as I can in terms of wishes, etc. ready for Siegeween. Because I'm hoping I can get C6 Siegeween and her bow. We shall see though. Oh, fine.
Over here! Step on! Let's dance!
Into the shadows.
There's a bird egg there. Bird egg! Right. Should have some eggs later. Need to use them before the day is out, otherwise they go bad. Not that you need to know that. Can you get off this? Check it. There. Carefully inspect the top of the mechanism, but you don't find anything. Did someone take whatever was here too? Looks that way. Just who is? It's Jacob. Jacob's gonna be Nar, that's what I'm getting from all of this at this point. We had an altercation with him inside Elness once. Clarification, recently, not once. When I saw that unfortunate victim at the gate, I knew it was his handiwork. It seems he's still active after all. Handiwork at the gate? What gate? And what does he want with the stuff he took from here? Simple. He too wants to reforge the Holy Blade of Nar. The dream of the Ordo remains unrealized. Anyway, we should make our way to the final area now. Alright. Final area. Thalia and Melpomene. That's a name, isn't it? Okay, so that is down there. Okay. I don't think I've been down here, though. I say that, it could have been ages ago I've been down here. Okay, where are we looking? Over here. I don't know. Alright, we'll head on in. It's the area up ahead, the final one. And maybe I've not been in here. I don't know, this feels new to me. This is the last place. Our search hasn't turned up anything so far. Very true. However, the entrance is shut, which means we still have a chance. Looks like our adversary hasn't solved the riddle here. That said, who is our competition exactly? Assuming that the Ordo has been inactive for centuries and that the knowledge I possess of it still holds true, combined with events that occurred prior to now, I fear it must be Jacob. That jerk who was picking on Seymour? What would he want with this stuff? I'm afraid that his objective is the same as ours, to find the materials needed to forge the Holy Blade of Nar. The Ordo was able to reproduce the 4 requisite hypothetical substances here in the material world, based on the esoteric philosophies of the Underground Kingdom and ancient Fontaine. You told us this bit. I do not understand. The enigmatics. You told us all this previously. Like, you told us this. Like, this is the same. Like, yeah, like Persona. Yeah. But yeah, the Holy Blade, on the other hand, is reason, that which cuts everything open. I can only be born out of consummate human will. Quite abstruse. Yeah, it's still the same, isn't it? Because we got the quite abstruse that I stumbled on. Inscription here reads, always united, born in an instant, often contradicting, I accompany you in eternal rest. And the last line is, the first droplet. The areas from before had riddles like this as well. You guys still remember the answers? Shadow? Life? Love? That'd be the Cupid one. The answers just keep getting more abstract, don't they? Caterpillar, Seymour, do you guys know the answer to this riddle? I think I have an idea concerning the first droplet. It sounds like it's referring to the first raindrop that fell following the creation of the world. I believe this idea was in vogue with both ancient Fontaine and the Ordo. But how are we supposed to find something like that? Well, the first droplet became part of all water in Teyvat. In that sense, every drop of water is the first droplet. It's like the first god spreading out the potential for greatness. An element of divinity is present in every person's body. But if it's that simple, the person who came before us should have no problem offering up the right answer. Indeed, I'm probably wrong. Well, even if it was the wrong answer, it was a good one. I can only conclude that the person who set up these riddles had no sense of romance. And now he's laughing at you for not getting how security works. I'm unable to provide an answer. My search for the first droplet retrieved 1,200 results. It's quite a few to go through. Legend has it the world's first drop of wine came to be when the Animo god... we can give it a shot. Let's go to Mondstadt. If you're gonna flog a dead horse, let's at least go about it the right way. About that, I think I have something I can share. There's a legend that says the Oceanids came from the first tear shed by the previous Hydro Archon. Meanwhile, the first tear on the Earth was shed by the first Oceanid after she came to understand humanity. Wouldn't the first tear in the world have come from the first crying human baby? Animal tears are actually salt discharges, and in those peaceful times, humans breathed their first in laughter. That's what the legends say anyway. The legends. Actually, I believe that the cries of babies and animal salt discharges can be regarded as similarly unemotional behaviors. Babies cry due to external stimuli and to fill their lungs with air as quickly as possible. That is what the Sumeru Amurta textbooks say. Is the answer an Oceanid then? That does seem like an answer that the person before us might not have provided. I think we're on the right track. Sure beats trying to find the Animo God's wine. We could always ask him. Based on my understanding of the Ordo, this makes logical sense. The Red Empress who dreams in a place unknown, the dreamer who never says what they mean. That's even more confusing than the riddles. Well, does that matter? We're already at the final juncture. Whatever the case, the answer will come to light at the end. Now then, Anne, if you wouldn't mind. Sure, I'll give it a try, but do come up with another answer quickly if I fail, alright? It opened! Well, there we go. We have to get the last piece, otherwise the Holy Blade will fall into the Ordo's hands. Right, so, yeah, this implies I've not been in here. Right? Like, if I needed that to enter, I can't have been in here. I think. Maybe. Right, we'll release that, so that should go that way. And then we'll go into the picture, because that's a thing. Through the looking glass. Hello.
Strike a pose! Over here!
You moved out the way. How dare you?
Loaded.
There we go. Get some more stuff ready for Sigewinne. Lovely.
First to find gets to stake their claim. Seems fair.
Where are we? How did I get here? Who am I? Where am I? What am I? This is oh, we were just up on a ledge. Okay, fair enough. That was not related. I don't think. Okay, so that goes that way.
Shoot.
We'll just follow this trail for now. Okay, there's another one down there. Make sure you're out the way and sorted. Sorry, Seymour, you're with us and we're going to be taking out one of your brethren.
I'll protect us.
Ready.
There we go. Okay, so we'll release you. But will that work? It goes all the way around. We don't need to change anything here. That's cool. So this will fill this up. So, go up. The lift is in operation. Right, release that, and that'll head on the way to the central bit. So that's the only bit here, right? Doesn't seem to be anything else going on. Okay. Well, they seem to all be connected, I was going to say, but one isn't, the one at the back. Okay. You, so how do we get you sorted? We need a special key. Where do we get the special key? So it has to be somewhere around. That's the thing. So check down below. Previous ones have had a special key as well. It's usually, I won't say very obvious, but it's like you could notice it sort of thing. Oh. Oh dear. Looks like something bad happened here. No point pressing the call button. Where are we going? Alright, I need... Yeah, there you are. Right, that's freed you. Cool, so now we can activate the... Although there is that one below, we should see about that. Not close enough. Ahahaha. I need these two. Oh, hello, guys. Goodbye, guys. Ah, there's another thing over here as well. Ooh. You're not yet connected to other channels. Well, how do I connect that one? I mean, that one's very different. Or do I need to do that? That's probably it. Okay. Which way around is it going? I need to get a good look at it. So we're turning the little thing down below, which will make the connectors go in the right direction. So, that's all good. We can go release this one here now. Right, so that connects all the way around here, I'm assuming. Yes, there we go. So then that should, in theory, activate this one somehow? In theory? Yeah, it's come up through there. Now we release this one. Lovely chest, thank you very much. Open you up. Still looking for a key, though. And that's the central area, isn't it? Alright, so we'll go through here now. Aha, that'll be the key over there in the...
Strike a pose.
Right.
Step on up. Over.
Oh, I almost got you with everything. Oh, big chest. Lovely. Lots of stuff for
If these items are
siegeing.
unclaimed, we may take them without controversy.
There we go. Is that what I wanted? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah? Question mark? Like it was glowy. There you go. Special key. Okay, so go up. The lift is in operation. Release. Okay, so now we can open this. That'll head towards the middle, though. What's up here, though? Like, why? There's a chest in the middle, apparently. Like, why would I need to come here? It's all activated. Huh? What's the point in that? Everything's fine here. Why can I not get... What was the point in all that? Like, why did I need the key? Like, what's in here that... Oh, hello. That's enough for me. Like, no, that's the reason to have the key. That's another lovely chest. Thank you very much.
Fair.
I'll be having that. That's basically what I meant, though. Is like, there should be something at least in there that's worth getting the key for. It's like, yeah, you get a chest. Like, okay, fine. It's good with me. That's good enough reason. Good enough reason. Is that the persona piece ahead? Unable to analyze the density of the substance before us, it appears to have a mass of 0. Element 0. It looks like we've got the last piece. We should be able to negotiate a bit with our opposition now. On the bright side, at least we can stop the Ordo from forging the Holy Blade. Not at all, Paimon. Our final goal is to forge the Holy Blade ourselves and use it to stop their plan. Of course, Anne, I have not forgotten what the sword means to you. A holy sword that can cut out the will is also the key to unraveling the mystery. And to be honest, it is equally important to me as well. It's just that we have more important, more pressing matters at hand. Would you mind, then, if we looked into the mysteries surrounding us later? I'm fine with that. In that case, Twitika, please take this persona with you, if you would. Well, I mean, I'll take the chest as well, you know, I mean, I can get those hydro sigils, they'll be very useful. Hey! Suppose I can take this to mean you've accepted our invitation. What? Keep moving ahead. I can't exactly not. Persona! Someone said something and then we were separated from Caterpillar and the others. Where are we going? How am I swimming in the air? We're being sent to the tower, surely. Surely? I'm not sure myself. I was thinking maybe we were being sent over there, but no, it looks like we are being sent to the tower. It's gotta be Jacob, though. Jacob's doing this. Like, such a pretty view up here, though, isn't it? Imagine if you were in co-op and you just saw someone flying past like this. Like, what the... Like, how did you get there? How did you do that? Like, don't worry about me! I'm swimming in the air! We're really going high up. Was that a chest just then? Did I pass one? Then we ended up at the top of the Tower of Gestalt place. We're separated from Caterpillar, Anne, and Seymour. What should we do? Looks like there are traps waiting down below. It's not dangerous yet. Let's count some prime numbers. Come on, you should have at least a little sense of urgency. Paimon knows you're a good fighter, but Paimon's worried about the others. But our only choice, is to keep going. Oh, is that the entrance? If there are any traps, just smash them. Yeah, was there a chest down here? Maybe it's just one of those bumps protruding like this one here. Or maybe it could be a chest. Maybe. In we go. I didn't realize there was an inn to this place. Huh? Huh? Wait. I did not expect that. It's like, oh. So every time we've been like teleporting to the Ordo was at the top of the tower? Okay. Huh. I was worried the master clocks might break down at a crucial moment, so I came just to do a bit of maintenance. What took you so long? I've even had the time to finish the anti-rust treatment and oil it up. That's the voice we heard earlier. You're, the purple dude. I've told you. Just call me Jacob. How did you set up this trap? I believe the persona section to be the most important. But there lies the persona excised by Master Na himself. Only a drop of water from an oceanid can open it. I can't allow it to be taken by just any ignorant adventurer. So I set up a trap before activating the Orthant and sealed the space off. Why are you here? Why shouldn't I be here? This is the Ordo base. Is there something wrong with returning to my own base? You're the ones who are trespassing. Don't you feel even a twinge of guilt for breaking the law? This was once the realm of a god. Now a pheasant sits upon the throne, just like the world today. Ooh. As compensation, give me the rest of your paints and the persona I need. I refuse! Even now, at a time like this, just what are you so hung up on? The countdown to the world's end has started. I must forge the holy blade and place it in my master's hand. Is Na this master of yours? Indeed, according to his world formula, the second deluge is looming before us. When it comes, only he will be able to save the world. But it already happened, didn't it? From our perspective. Yeah. Only by forging the holy blade can he continue his unfinished work, gathering the wills of everyone in Fontaine, the continent, and even the entire planet unto himself. As the primordial sea returns once more, and as the devourer of all darkens the sky, only he who is whole unto himself may survive. Only then will all our souls, nay, all of humanity's souls, be spared from destruction. We will welcome a new dawn in the tranquil sea of innocence he grants us. So this is your big plan to save the world? Sounds like you're just bundling everyone's consciousnesses together without consent. What would you know of anything? Only Master Na's new body will survive the coming of the second deluge. Even if all of a life disappears into the sea, he will survive alone. He will remember all the lives that were lost. He recognizes the value and equality of all life, a selflessness that shall not be besmirched by others such as you. So where is he now? In the deepest depths beneath us. When the thugs and dogs of Fontaine surrounded us and attempted to wipe us out, he descended alone into the abyss below. But he must still be alive, and the time for his return is nigh. Quickly, give me what you have on you. Then I will have all the Orthants, and you may leave. How about this? I will trade you this rust treatment and oil. Think of it as a gift for that foolish dog. In the dawn of the new world, it is unlikely there will be a place for it or Guillotine's fantasies. I refuse! This world is not as weak as you think it is. That's right. Paimon and Twitka have seen more crises. Oh, far too many. Then you've eaten lotus flower crisps. And we always come out on top. Truly, there is no reaching your exalted heights. I remember how the master used to pretend to be an evil dragon when we played as children. Oh. Who would have thought he would become the hero, while the real evil dragons would come at us one after another. Gitty may have disappeared, but here his successors come, self-assured, thinking themselves totally infallible. I wouldn't say that. What the heck are you talking about? The time has come. A century ago, the prophecy predicted all. He will return. Hello. If you will not give me what I need willingly, I will take it myself. Alright, battle time then.
Shower me with trade! Surprise! Ship on up!
I mean, your
Let
health's
the show
dropping, mate. You know
begin.
that. It's really dropping.
Shoot on sight. Move it.
And your health's not dropping now. Has Caterpillar appeared? They have appeared. They've all appeared. Where's Anne? It's hard to tell with Farina's little things around as well. I would read what they're saying, but, you know, I'm trying to avoid damage. Like, this is why these kind of things need to be voiced. Like, don't have dialogue during a battle, you know. Right, there we go.
Surprise!
We got him. Yeah, it's been a while. Chrysalis, still no sign of metamorphosis, I see. Perhaps you've grown too used to being a caterpillar. Have you already forgotten the time we spent here? It was a brief time compared to our eternity, but those brief moments granted us mastery of the universe. Alright, Skeletal. I was nothing more than your exhibit at that time, nor could I understand your grand plans. Plus, I tend to have a bad memory for things I don't like. But on your return, you performed the dispelling ritual. How fastidious of you. Of course. How could I allow spiritual impurities or contaminants into the master's space? Alas, you have not yet left your cocoon. You will return to the void in the end. There is no place for you in the new world. Hand over the rest of it. I shall permit it. It seems it is you who are the hero wielding the holy blade in this telling of the story, while I am the dragon who falls to your sword. It matters not in the end. All the elements are in place and the dragon has been defeated. You may guard reason for now. After all, nobody can truly own the holy blade. We merely hold it as it travels in the direction it must until it reaches its final destiny. The holy blade can be any object, but there is particular symbolism in it being a sword. Oh then, present something that can hold reason. Let's use the holy blade of Nar we found from earlier, Lord. This is... Yes, childhood sword. What's next, Jacob? Do you want to reforge the holy blade as soon as possible? Next, Oceanid, you touch the sword. Is this a trap? No. Although the holy blade can part any will from water, it can also unite wills. It can accommodate both the primordial and that of order. You have been chosen because even if you are an illusion, you contain something that the Ordo has gathered over many years. The power of will. Should we trust him? I mean, what else can we do at this point? His biological indicators show a very low probability of lying, though I remain doubtful. How long must you dawdle? You're no better than the rusty old shell guillotine created. Would you like some oil for your brain or rust remover? Speaking of rust remover, what about it? That watch. Yeah, we could try using rust remover on that watch. What nonsense are you all going on about? Adults shouldn't interrupt children. Triple dot. And I'm a child too. Oh, it's open. Aww. Oh, it's adorable. And there's a photo inside. How nostalgic. Elaine, Ren, maybe Renee, Director Lillis, Marianne, and myself, as we once were. I remember this photo. Think I remember. Matching traits detected. This is Marianne, my ward. Well, Has the oil helped lubricate your rusty decision-making skills? If we don't take this step, we'll never be able to leave the world of memory. Yeah, let me give it a try then. And it's okay, I've made up my mind. Whoa. Ooh. Looks a bit like my sword that I've got. Yeah. Is this what the Holy Blade of Nar is really like? Weren't you listening? Caterpillar just explained that the Holy Blade can indwell any form that holds significance. Just like the Holy Blade of Nar we imagined. You changed back. Very good. My mission is complete. Now I propose a trade. Now you, Oceanid, please take all my emotions and memories. Huh? My power is no match for yours, and I will soon disappear. Save all that I am, that I may be reunited with everyone in the new world. Seems like he's not up to date with the latest news. But we established several nodes in Fontaine in accordance with the seal of chemical marriage as part of our response to the apocalypse. Today only the 5 most important survive. Only the smallest part of our master's plan has been implemented. But even that is a form of success. I'm assuming it's like the flooding. That was what Twitica was relating that to then. The arrival of the new world is fated. I cannot absorb your persona and memories. After all, I have no wish to retain anyone as with such serious sins on their hands as you are now. Huh? You may no longer be the crybaby, Jacob, but as you are now, you are still not worthy of eternity. Rather than do that, we will help you and treat you. You must atone for your sins. Part of the Red Empress is within you, so you should know that she rejected the future. She wanted to return to the Institute as it was, and watch again as we pretend to be the adventure team. Beautiful memories are the only eternity in this world. There are no others. Granted to me, O being of eternity. I do not wish to do so, and I will persuade that part of Lilith too. The appointed time has come. It seems the watch wound up running a little fast over the course of a century. What's going on here? I have reversed the seal of chemical marriage and reforged the holy blade of reason. The truth of the world formula has been proven. The seal of chemical marriage was an ancient Fontainian ritual meant to seal off the source of life. Now it has been reversed and all has been set free once more. What's that? Wait, but back in the Fortress of Meripede, the primordial sea was... Now it is time for our master, no, for Renee to return. You will break the seal and control the source of life. The pure water of life will inundate the world as he rises once more, giving birth to a new universe. All souls will be preserved forever, and the blade of will shall fall into the waters and be grasped by its legitimate owner. All will be united as one, and gain the power to combat the apocalypse. Jacob, I've already anticipated the end of this body. The clock may stop and its hands fall silent. It may take Master a little time to find my will in the new world, but do not worry, we will meet there again. Jacob. Uh-oh. Ah! I mean, that to me seems like the real sword. It's not a clock hand, it's a sword. What a terrible ending. But I fear there's little time for mourning or lamentation. Everything now hangs by a thread. If my sense of direction is right, I'm afraid the interior of the Tower of Gestalt is below us now. You've never been there, Caterpillar? It's the closest point to Master's ultimate goal. I do not believe many have been there. It means we don't know what we'll find there. I'm ashamed to admit it, but yes. What? What's all this? What's all what? Hello! 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 Is there 2 of them? 3? Warning, abnormal environmental changes detected. I can see just fine. Seems you don't have much time. Let's get to work quickly, before Jacob's new world becomes a reality. Also, the end of the world is kind of potentially happening. Okay. Righto! Go deeper. We need to stop this then, I think. Yeah. What a huge mechanical core. How should we descend? An optical coupling design, is it? Looks like we need to get all the rays to hit their targets. So how do we do that? There must be some kind of equipment nearby. Have a look around. Oh. Alright then. Right, so what we'll do is we'll end this part here. And in the next part, we'll move on to Savior's Wake. Yes, indeed. I've also decided, by the way, that, yeah, we're just going to focus on in future, out of like the world quests, the ones that have the massive arcs, like, you know, Fontaine Research Institute Chronicles, and right now what we're doing, which is Savior's Wake. So, we shall see you in the next part with Savior's Wake. Ta-da for now.